Hey, Common Ground Blouberg, I have a big and I trust a really exciting announcement for you that I think is going to bring great joy and incredible fruitfulness in the years to come. But let me give you a bit of context before I do that. Like any good marketer, I'm going to make you wait. Let me tell you a little of our story. About 10 years ago, we planted Common Ground Church Blouberg, and it was with incredible excitement that we did that. We did it with a heart that said, God, we want to do what you've called us to do. We want to make disciples, and we want to help those people who don't yet have a home, who haven't yet come home to you and to church, that we want to help them come home. And that was our express goal. 10 years down the line, and that is still our express goal. We've always felt like God has called us to reach people who don't yet know Him. And it's part of why we do what we do. Hey, also, about 15 or 20 years ago, when Common Ground Church Rondebosch was only 10 years old, there was a prophetic word that came over the church that said, a decade of preparation for decades of harvest. Now, we're 10 years old, and we've looked at what happened in that decade of preparation and thereafter. Common Ground Rondebosch began to become Common Ground at multiple different sites and planted no less than 8 different congregations after a decade of preparation. And we don't know what God is going to do in terms of other church plants and things like that. But we have felt like God restoring or reviving that word, that it's a decade of preparation for decades of harvest. That God isn't done with us, that our most fruitful years still lie ahead. And that's why we want to invest in this announcement and tell you something of what we're trusting that God may have for us and may want to be saying with us. I don't know if you're like me and you've also been just simply looking around. You don't need to know the prophetic words. You just need to look around on a Sunday and become aware that, wow, we are filling up. It's simple. Our numbers are huge. In a time in November, December, where numbers are normally dwindling, Common Ground Blouberg seems to be booming. We had nearly 300 adults in our auditorium, which is functionally at capacity. We had over 100 kids week on week over the last while. It has been a chock-a-block number of Sundays, in fact, a chock-a-block year. And with that in mind and an expectation for another year of God growing in an area that is the fastest growing area in the country, we feel like God is calling us to a next level of redemptive potential. Let me just say this before I give the big announcement. We have never had a desire to become a big church. No, we've always desired to be a base church, a serving church, that no matter how big God grows us, the biggest thing we want God to grow is our hearts. That we become a big-hearted church, a church that's able to carry our neighbors and the nations of the world in our hearts, in a way that is filled with the presence of God, the formation of God, and the mission of God. And so, with that in mind, I want to tell you that we believe through much prayer with our eldership team, with our deacon team, with other voices who speak into the life of our church from other contexts, we have felt that it's good with us and with the Holy Spirit to start a second Sunday morning meeting starting next year, sometime in Feb. We are thrilled. I realize that some people, when you hear that, like me, we're not afraid of change, we're afraid of loss. And you might be going, what am I going to lose? Well, we want to walk the journey towards that moment of multiplication and answer any of those questions. But I want to encourage you that over the last 10 years, every decision God has called us to that has felt a little scary, but has been God calling us into our redemptive potential. God has always surprised us with how good the new normal feels and how gracious He is to deepen our value system and to cause us to grow and to send our roots down deeper and to make us more us with His DNA in us, despite some of the change that comes about. And so I want to assure you that we as a leadership team, elders and deacons, life group leaders alike, are going to walk together towards this in the way that we feel like God is calling us towards our redemptive potential. We've had so many wonderful prophetic moments, none less than our prayer time a while back, where we were all praying and we had 2 of the exact same prophetic words come up in the prayer time around God speaking through Elijah to the widow, the Shunammite widow, saying, put as many jars out as you can and I will fill them. And 2 of us at the same time, totally independently, felt God say that word, except the other person felt like it was God saying, put out another meeting. And we've had multiple other moments. We look forward to telling all those stories over the next number of weeks to not just get you to aware of the practical, but to get aware of the guidance of God towards this. And so please stick with us. Please ask any questions that you may have. If you're afraid of loss, I want to encourage you to begin to ask questions about what is the opportunity that lies ahead. It's my conviction that in fact, it's our conviction that there is so much opportunity to see God work in this next season. Opportunities to serve, opportunities to love, opportunities to freshly involve ourselves in the mission of God, opportunities to get involved in fresh relational opportunities, and most importantly, opportunity to get on board with the beautiful mission that Jesus has called us to in building his church. What a treat. Thanks for your faith. Thanks for your warm-hearted love towards us as we move towards sometimes scary decisions that we believe God is guiding us into. We love and appreciate this amazing community and trust that this journey, exciting as it may be, will be filled with the grace and the mercy of Jesus Christ.